Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Luna and I make Animal Crossing videos every single week. So if you're into that, consider subscribing to join our little AC family. I changed my fit again. I actually like this purple one over the pink one that I wore last time, but now I feel like I need to change my hair. But what do you guys think? But yeah, last week we created my overgrown tropical fairy entrance. I will leave a link to that video in the time cards on top if you missed out. And in today's video, we will be creating my underwater sea castle. So let's not waste any more time and get right into the video. Here is the area that I will be decorating. I already went ahead and laid the sand path down, and I also laid down this pastel brick design for the castle portion of this build. If I didn't do this, we will be here all day watching me lay these paths down, and that's just too boring to watch. So I just went ahead and laid everything out. I also left some of the areas empty because that's where I will be creating the cliffs to elevate the castle. And here's how it looks, just in case you were wondering. I'm going to start by creating the cliffs. I love building. I just wish there was a faster way to do this because creating one cliff at a time is so brutal, and then it takes like a few seconds in between just to build it and tear it down. I wish I could just automatically build a whole row in like seconds. I was going to use the castle items for this build, but I decided to go back to the basics and use the wedding pipe organs. Also, the castle items don't come in a white color, and I really wanted a white color for this build. I was going to use the pink one, but it just didn't go with the pastel path that I have, so I just ended up using those instead. Also, I had posted a poll on my community tab last week, and I will be redoing the poll again this week. A lot of you guys had really great suggestions, and I want to take all of them into consideration. So I'm so sorry if you guys already voted, but I'm going to need you guys to vote again. So I was able to combine all of these suggestions into 4 choices. So the choices are fairy forest core. It will be like a fairy jungle. I saw some comments asking if I can make a jungle, and I thought combining fairy core with jungle core would be interesting and fun to create. Fairy elegant core, which will be an all pink island. I've been seeing so many people with pink islands, and I kind of want to create one. I also want to create an all purple and an all blue island, but let's just take it one island at a time. The next one is pastel kid core, and lastly Disney princess island, but only with the main princesses like Cinderella, Snow White, Mulan, Ariel, Tiana, you know, princesses like that. But I will have little sections on my island dedicated to them, but the main island will most likely be like Fairycore, fairy tale. I will post the poll after this video, so go head over to my community tab and cast your vote. And also thank you all who have suggested. I really appreciate it, and it does help me because sometimes, well, a lot of the times I'm very indecisive and I just need someone to tell me this is what you're gonna do. But yeah, back to the build. We are working on this sea castle, and the idea came in mind because I wanted to create Ariel's castle, but I wanted it to have a pastel look to it. I will be putting my house in front of everything to make it look even more of a castle. The inside of my house, I will be decorating it into the Little Mermaid just to fit in with the underwater theme. I'm using a lot of the mermaid furniture, shell items, and the frozen DIY items. I like the frozen items because it makes it look like the whole thing is underwater. So I'm going to be covering up the edges of the cliffs with frozen partitions. Also, the frozen tree, if you customize it into a different color, it looks like a coral, which is really cool. So I made 4 of them and customized them in the pink and purple color, and it looks so nice with the whole build. In front of my house, I was debating a lot on what I wanted to put there. I was first going to place my pond path all over, but I also had some designs that I wanted to use, so I didn't go with the path. And then I wanted a sand path, but I didn't want to use the in-game sand path because I didn't want it to show up on the map. I know it sounds odd, but for me it just looks weird when I see this small little patch on my map. So then when I did download the sand path, there were some design codes that I wanted to use, but I couldn't because I couldn't use the design codes on top of design codes. So then I decided to just place the in-game sand path everywhere. After I decided which path I was going to use, I started planning out the front of my house, and I did want to add a fountain in the front, but I just felt like if this is going to be underwater, having a fountain in the front doesn't make sense. So I just decided to create little spots with things that you would see under the ocean. While I was looking at sea pictures, I came across this twinkle path that I thought was so perfect for this area. It looks like little pebbles you find in the ocean, and what I love about it is is that it's purple and it goes so well with this build. I placed my house down, which was another struggle that I had because I was trying to figure out how to design the outside of my house to match with everything. I went with an all white exterior and I was contemplating between a white roof or a pink roof. When I did do the white roof, I felt like the house just blended into itself, if that makes sense. Like I couldn't really see my house, but when I customized it in the pink color, I just felt like the roof popped out more and it made everything around it pop out even more. So I ended up just picking the pink one, and then of course I decorated the door to match the wedding organ pipes with the gold accents, which looks very fancy. Oh, and I don't think that I mentioned this before, but I finally got Chloe. I felt so bad kicking out Sherb, but I have him on my other island and I could see him literally anytime I want. I just always feel so bad when I have to kick out a villager. If you've been subscribed to my channel long enough, you know my beef with Ricky. He's the only villager that I do not like, and it's not because he's ugly. I personally don't care about how they look. It's just the fact that he was so mean to me, and the inside of his house is just tree standees, which look very, very sus. But anyways, now that I have Chloe, I can continue on finishing my little villager home series. Next video, I will be doing a double neighborhood. Not sure if I'm going to be doing Filbert and Marshall or June and Audie. I'm leaning towards June and Audie, but we'll see because I have to clear out a lot on the other side of my island because I kept digging up the trees and pushing them to one side, and then I realized I want to actually decorate that side of my island, so I have to dig up all of the trees and move them to the other side of my island, and then I end up wanting to decorate there, and so then I'll have to do the whole process all over again and moving the trees around. The parts of my island that is not decorated looks like a hot mess, but that's okay because we're almost done with this island. I do want to throw in a crescent moon pond, which I might do a crescent moon pond first and then the double neighborhood just to give myself a little break in between decorating homes. And I think I have the perfect spot to place the crescent moon pond, so stay tuned for that video. But yeah, we are almost done decorating the front of my house and almost done with this build. This area was probably the most fun I had decorating. I just went all out adding a bunch of the underwater custom designs and adding lots of shell items. I just love the tropical theme in general. It just makes me feel like I'm on vacation without spending the money. I had to go back to this shell table because I forgot to add the items on top. Then I'm sprinkling some star fragments. I use a lot of the Pisces fragments because I really love the light blue color. It just goes so well with all of the colors that I have here. Finally, finishing off with the frozen pillars and star clocks on top, and we are done with the build. Here's how the build ended up looking. I wanted to show you guys how it looks from up here at this angle. I already went ahead and added some waterfalls to give this a nice little effect. And here's how the under the sea looks. I love how it turned out. It looks super chaotic, but I just love how chaotic it looks. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, let me know by hitting the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing to join our little AC family. Don't forget to head over to my community tab to cast your vote on which island theme I should do next. I love you all so much. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!